How is it possible that a term, quiet quitting, could be applied towards high performers? How can high performers ever be quietly quitting anything in their lives? I have a lot of ideas on this, and I think you're going to enjoy this, but at the end of the day, it happens all the time. See, quiet quitting, let's define it. It's actually showing up with the bare minimum, just enough. Average is as average does. It's that basic effort, zero passion, just going through the motions. And it happens to be something that's being talked about everywhere right now. It's all over the news. It's something that so many people are doing because they work from home. But how can high performers also be doing this every day? Easy. They're overwhelmed. There's too many things on their plate. Every single day, they have to choose what to prioritize and what not. Things are flying every which way for someone who is performing at a high level and giving life all they've got. So as a whole, the result is unbelievably high performing, exciting, passionate. You're killing it. But what are you only showing up for in the basic needs? What are you only doing that's considered quietly quitting? This is the key. The key is we want to find it. We want to fix it, and we want to help it. But you have to identify it first. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 things you can do to make sure quiet quitting is reserved for everybody else and not you. And we're going to go through the things that you could be missing that are right in front of you. Now, let's talk about a story. Let's talk about a situation where high performers all the time find themselves in. You are unbelievable at what you do every single day. Your impact is immense. You're making a difference in the world. You are driving success every single day. But are you doing so in every box of your life? Have you identified the people you love? Are they getting the attention they need? Or are we quietly quitting them? Are we quietly quitting the community and the things that we started with as so important? Have we quietly quit our faith? Our belief in something bigger than ourselves? Or maybe we've just stopped taking care of ourselves altogether and the energy we're showing up to every single day with isn't enough. See, there are so many boxes of our life that we can quietly quit and not even know it's happening. But the reality is we can fix it. There's 3 things that I think are extremely important. Number 1 is always the most important, and it's called reflection. You have to reflect on the most important things. I just gave you the 4 parts of life the way I see it: love, impact, faith, energy. And I go through an exercise all the time when I'm reflecting that I call my 4 quadrants. And it's the 4 quadrants of life, but the reality is, who in my life is getting the attention, and are they getting what they deserve? The people I love the most. Is my impact being felt in a way that I feel proud? Am I giving enough of myself to God, to something bigger than myself? And am I doing so? How am I showing up in my energy? I go through exercises every single day, every month, every year, whenever I need it, to make sure that I am always in tune with where I'm not providing those things. And guess what? Many times you get lost. I get lost. I know everybody can get lost. But I have to do that in reflection time. Reflection is a time to identify how I can get better, but I don't know where I should put my efforts in until I've identified what the data is, what the challenge is, where I might be quiet quitting in my life. The second thing is prioritization. This is really important. This is when I go through my exercise and I circle the things that I'm definitely not showing up for in the way that I want to show up. You can't have a ton of energy in some things and no energy in others if they're the most important things. So I prioritize and reprioritize the most important things. And guess what? It shifts, it changes, it alters. Life moves, it's flexible. What today is the most important thing may not have been 3 years ago, so it's really important to reassess. So during reflection, we're identifying all the things that we might be missing. We're identifying the things we want to do more of. We're identifying the things that can help us from quietly quitting. And in number two, we're prioritizing those things. What are they? What are we going to do first? Number them, circle them, star them, checklist them. Whatever it is that you have to do to put them to the front of your mind. At the end of the day, if it's your family, which high performers understand this happens. You're running, you're moving, you're traveling, whatever it may be, reassess. The third thing that you have to do is you have to execute. One thing that high performers, people that get stuff done, are great at are execution. Executing your ideas are great, but just doing it is mandatory. Not just talking about it, not just thinking about it, but just doing it. So if you're quietly quitting a project at work, find somebody else that can execute it if you can't. If you're not showing up in the way you want to with your family, find the action items of how you can and execute upon them. Reflect, prioritize, execute. Execution is something that everybody that gets stuff done knows how to do, but it's gotta be a process. Quiet quitting isn't just reserved for people that are sitting at home not wanting to do any more work than's needed. Not just for the people that are making their mouse move without them actually showing up and doing the work. It's very evident in so many high performers' lives. And if you really think about it and you really identified it right now, this exercise is going to help you be better today, not just better tomorrow. It's going to guide you in something that you can actually find your next passion project. Sometimes shedding the stuff that isn't working in your life that you have been quietly quitting is actually designed to help you rise to the top and give your best energy to the most important things in your life that you want to do. I go through this exercise, like I said, all the time, and I often find that if I actually just relieve myself of these things, I'd have more energy for the things that matter the most. And when it comes to love and your family, I used that analogy earlier, that's something that's always worth evaluating. Whether your kids are young, your kids are grown, you have grandkids today, it doesn't matter. If they are the most important thing, applying and executing upon that action is the most important thing. So let's stop quietly quitting as high performers. Let's figure out a way to get better together. Let's prioritize and execute after we reflect. And let's work on making quiet quitting something only reserved for other people, not you. So first of all, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like. Other people that might need to see this, don't be afraid to send it to them. And if you like content like this, watch this next video on how to be more productive.